worst movie ever. Okay, not really, but I opened the Winter's Tale review by saying it was the best movie ever. So of these two movies with Will Smith in them, clearly the best was his portrayal as Satan as a die-hard Jimi Hendrix fan in the early 20th century. Also, that had bonus points in that the poster told me in advance it was not a true story. Thanks for the heads up on that. With Collateral Beauty, this Christmas-time tale of a grieving father and ad exec who chews out the universe's ass until he's visited by the physical embodiments of love, time, and death does not tell me if it's a true story or not. As for that plot, that's at least what the trailer told us it was about. That's partly it, with some outlandish twists here and there. From writer Alan Loeb of Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, and So Undercover, it was an idea he had that mixes grief with fantasy elements and was originally supposed to star Hugh Jackman until he left due to his work on Logan. Then Johnny Depp was considered at one point, till it became one of the yearly Will Smith potential Oscar movies released in 2016, 1 year after Concussion. Surely it can be a tearjerker too. It's directed by David Frankel of Marley and Me, with cinematography by Maurice Alberti, who shot Creed. And it's got a cast of Oscar winners like Smith, Kate Winslet, and Helen Mirren, and multiple nominees like Edward Norton. Instead, the movie proved to be almost as bonkers as Winter's Tale. If only they gave Smith a devil face. That's about how mad the movie made critics and moviegoers, so hell yeah, we're watching this.
I'm watching my video. I'm watching my video. Oh, watching my video. Sure looks good to me.
Now we can officially begin the artsiest domino rally commercial ever made. It's been a fantastic year for their ad agency. They sold 100 million editions with the famous loop-de-loop.
Why'd you even get out of the bed this morning? Why did you wear what you wore? Why did you come here?
The movie got bad reviews, so of course I have to put on my black suit and review it. Don't worry, the agency executive Howard will be on hand to tell us how ads work.
Advertising is about illuminating how our products and services will improve people's lives.
And it's about getting laid. That was in the past, though. We're jumping ahead 3 years so we can skip right to the depressed Don talking about Hershey's season. Something has happened to make him go completely mad. He spent 3 whole years setting up these dominoes only to walk away from them when they fall? I guess I can see it. If it gets stuck at the rocket, I won't kick the sofa out of frustration. And who's gonna clean this up?
How long did this one take?
5 days.
God damn it, call the janitor. As a bonus, we'll give him a free edition of Mousetrap. Howard's depression is really affecting their company. Whit, Claire, and Simon need to come up with a plan. Howard's hobbies are costing them high-profile clients, and around Christmas, too! Don't forget it's Christmas!
I still don't understand why Howard got 60% of the voting shares and you only got 40.
Because I needed cash to settle my divorce.
Just like A Christmas Story, if it was about shares, divorce, and affairs. These two shop for Christmas trees like they're out looking for a Picasso to set fire to just because they can. To get some dirt on Howard, he even hires the same PI who his ex-wife hired to catch him having an affair.
You hired the woman who caused your divorce?
No, I caused my divorce. Sally Price just documented it.
God, this movie's as Christmassy as a reality drama I'm stuck watching on Thanksgiving. We're only 5 minutes in, and this is a huge exposition dump.
His kid died.
That was 2 years ago, Claire.
I got over the scratch on my Porsche in a year. Why can't Howard do the same? What other exposition can we do? We need to know that Simon has a family, so have him hold a kid while they talk about the PI they've hired to prove that Howard is unstable so they can oust him from the company with truly deep lines like this.
This doesn't feel right.
I know, but when something starts with a 6-year-old dying, nothing is gonna feel right.
I don't know, the opening of Halloween Ends felt right. This movie follows a how-to guide on grief. Need to know that he was a happy and caring father? Do the stock swinging them around by the arms shot that he probably created for a Hallmark ad. Without any dominoes left, he tries taking up tic-tac-toe by himself, but quickly gives up when he keeps losing. So he begins writing letters to the universe, where the PI is in her undercover rickshaw just to take a picture of the mailbox. You'll have to trust me, Howard used this mailbox. Actually, she needs that info to steal the mail by making a copy of the key where they find out who he's been writing letters to.
So 3 letters.
Who are they to?
Time. Love. Death.
Also fan mail to El DeBarge. We need to hire you for a side job to find out who is Johnny. I can tell they really care about Howard's well-being.
Usually after work, he goes to a small dog park in Brooklyn.
Does he write letters to the dogs?
Are you serious?
Well, that would be like the home run, right? I mean, that's what we need.
Ugh, this is getting complicated. Can't we just Photoshop him with his dick stuck in a cantaloupe or something? Or just check on him?
Howard? Hey, it's Claire.
1 minute. I'm on my shitting hole. I kinda don't blame them for being annoyed. He's the CEO of the company, but is hiding away in an apartment building where he's missing his rent, so she has to pay for it. So far, we know way more about the supporting characters, like how Whit isn't gonna spend Christmas with his daughter or her pet doorman.
What are you trying to tell me?
I'm not coming to stay with you. I'm going with Barry and Mom to the Bahamas.
No.
These characters are as relatable as a gold-plated lump of coal. Next thing you know, they won't even get to see Hamilton.
I got us tickets to Hamilton.
Then sucks for Hamilton.
Okay, fine. I'll get us tickets for Moose Murders. I love how she just comes right out and says that she hates him.
Why don't you want to spend the holiday with me? I miss you.
Because I hate you. Because you're a philanthropist.
Philanderer.
I'll also take man whore. At least now they can duke it out on who the real main character is. Is it Whit trying to convince Howard to step up for their company as he shakes his head no? Or is it Claire with a sudden holiday sickness of baby fever? Or Keira Knightley as Amy, an actress waiting to audition for one of their ads where, like everything else, no one talks like this?
Shed your skin. Find your life. Hits you here.
It does hit me here.
Actually, that's a heart attack from your 10th espresso of the day. Here's a surprise they leave out from the trailer, where that primarily made Helen Mirren, Keira Knightley, and Jacob Latimore look like Love, Death, and Time. But then we find out they're an acting team who needs money for their show.
There is no opening night until we get this money together. You rich?
Divorced.
Also, yes, he's rich. I guess there's no other way to oust Howard from the company, so the obvious answer is to hire 3 actors who he doesn't even know if they're any good or not. But let's have them pose as Love, Death, and Time to Howard like Whit's directing Bowfinger. But see, he takes care of his mom, so he's alright.
I got a raccoon friend. He's on the task force. He put a bug out there for me by the trash cans. We're gonna tape everything they say.
Son, there's only room here for one of us to have a stroke. It gets more confusing when he uses a foreign commercial to pitch his idea to Simon and Claire.
You talk all the time, you never listen. And then here comes the monster. It doesn't have to be this way.
It was for the best that Edward Norton didn't pitch Inside Out to Disney. Eventually, he just spells it out for them. Don't know why he didn't do that to begin with.
What if Love, Time, and Death show up in person and answer the letters that Howard's been writing to them?
I think I got it, but can you put it more internet-y?
So you want us to gaslight your boss?
Thank you, now I understand. Sure, they have some problems with it at first, but hey, they're given $20,000 each, okay.
Did you not hear them say that this man's lost his child?
Yes, and that's why he's reaching out to the cosmos for answers.
This movie makes even less sense when you know the ending. Sometimes it's shot well, then other times it looks like a featurette of the actors talking about the movie's plot. Thank you for coming to AMC to see our movie, because Christmas hasn't arrived until it's on the big screen. We're still so focused on everything else, I keep forgetting about Will Smith. All I know about him is that he lost his daughter and loves to ride his bike, while everything else is way on the nose.
Yeah, well, Death doesn't have any fans. I don't understand.
So, since he's dealing with Helen Mirren as Death, does that mean he's dying? Like how she wants a baby and is handling time, and he's a divorcee looking for love, so he's with love? Truly, you have been our angels all along. No, you fool, you're skipping to the climax. Let's take a break. I'm gonna skip the eggnog and go right for the bourbon.
Nicky, darling, I'm going to make things easy on you this Christmas. A, I don't want any more toys, and B, I want something from Shoppers Drug Mart. I'll put it in the letter.
You're gonna be happy.
Happy Christmas.
Shoppers Drug Mart.
We're back, and he's too sad to even go to the support group. He has a better idea. I'm gonna watch some dogs hump in the park. This poor man. It's like the saddest episode of Candid Camera ever made, though his reaction is pretty funny.
I wrote the letter to Death.
Nice to meet you. They're charmed, I'm sure.
Nope.
And that was just him breaking character. He's out of this movie. I'm gonna check on that Bad Boys for Life script. Seriously, they even get others to pretend like he's talking to no one.
Who's that man talking to? He looks kind of weird.
Don't worry about that. Sometimes people are silly.
So I guess they paid extra for the PI to also be a dick? How do they get anything done at this agency? Not because Howard is a flake, but because the others are putting all this time and effort into asshole dinner theater. But that's enough for Howard to maybe give this group therapy thing a shot and a possible love interest.
Are you looking for smaller swing support group?
Yes.
And you are?
Howard.
Howard?
Just wait until you see where this goes. These lines hit way different when you're watching this a second time, and not in a good way. As preposterous as this movie is, it's even more so on a rewatch, but more on that later. First, he has a lot of cleaning up to do after the company had to make budget cuts and fire the janitor, so it's time to spend some days rebuilding instead. This time, he got a little slide to go with it, although I do like when the theater actors are competing for screen time.
But death is so much more vital than time. Death gives time all of its value. Maybe I should play all the parts.
I can't argue with an all Helen Mirren movie, and the tone is all over the place. Now he tells her that he's dying.
It's multiple myeloma. I fought it when I was 16 and then again when I was 25. It just never went away.
After saying that out loud, I am wasting my remaining time here on this convoluted Howard plot. Speaking of, now he meets Time himself.
I don't understand dominoes. There's no board to play them on or a basket to throw them into.
He's regretting they didn't send Keira Knightley for this task. She literally played domino. Guess they couldn't bring the PI back to pretend like he's alone, so Claire will do it herself.
Ask her. Go ahead, ask her if she can see me.
They're really lucky Howard didn't do something drastic like pants him or throw a knife at him to test the other person's reaction. The movie just shows that love, death, and time are the most pretentious asshats to ever be stuck next to at a party.
Time doesn't go from January to December or from noon to midnight. You know, we all just make it that way in our heads.
I just read that in a Panda Express fortune cookie. You're about as deep as a puddle. But the best parts are still his reactions when one shows up.
You gotta be friggin' kidding me.
I'm getting on the phone with my goddamn agent. Christ, 7 pounds made more sense than this. And while Death gets a dying Michael Pena, poor Love is stuck with Wit's hard-on.
Can I kiss you?
You don't have to sexualize it.
I can kiss you without sexualizing it.
Seriously, you're just a thing to me. The next part of the plan is providing evidence, as in photographing them with Howard and then removing them to make him look crazy.
And we're gonna use it as evidence.
It'll be like being in a movie.
Except you'll be digitally removed.
That's right, we're gonna replace you all with Christopher Plummer. They're one step closer to leaving a dead hooker under Howard's bed and calling the police. He knows who to confide to about the possibility that he's seeing imaginary people.
There's a thing called bereavement hallucinations.
Yes.
Jesus, their little plan is gonna get him fired and possibly committed. Not to mention how weird it is.
So I assume you're part of the 79% of couples who get divorced after losing a child? Do you still love her?
Do I just say what the twist is here? No, can't give out the presents early. He's lucky he's Will Smith. It'd go over way differently if I said something about imaginary friends to a person in my house.
Death came first. She met me in the dog park.
Death should have been looking for Simon. Remember, Simon is still dying. And more bad news, the chandelier goes on the ceiling, damn it. His plot is that he hasn't told any of his family about his whole dying thing.
You're just denying them what is rightfully theirs.
Yeah, and what's that? Pain? Atrophy? Disease?
I don't know if Death needed to step in. I'm sure eventually his family would figure it out. What else are we figuring out? Well, what the title means, I guess. Like when Madeline talks about being approached by an older, wise woman when her daughter passed away. It doesn't show the person yet, but gee, is it Helen Mirren? About the title, though.
And she looked at me and she said, just be sure to notice the Collateral Beauty.
I still don't get it. I just thought Collateral Beauty meant that Tom Cruise is about to shoot Lester Burnham. He's still got a great reaction, too, when he's told that loss itself is collateral beauty.
There's no such thing as collateral beauty.
He's just all the critics for the film.
Appreciate your story, but I'm not really feeling the collateral beauty thing.
That's what I said when I left the theater, too. At least Howard simply had to pay for a nightcap. The others are finding that it's expensive to keep their actors for their Christmas miracle.
I'll give you $100,000. Not 20, 100.
You don't have $100,000.
You're right, I live with my mother.
You look exactly like someone who has more than $100K stashed away somewhere. But she gets him to remember that he loves his daughter. The money can wait.
Tell me what it was like the day that she was born.
It was scary.
It was a man-eating mutant. There was blood everywhere. That'd be better than what he's actually saying.
I looked at her and I realized that I wasn't feeling love. I had become love.
My God, this dialogue is cobbled together from every one-man performance art monologue. Again, it's not like I don't understand some of it. Yeah, something's gotta be done because he shouldn't be running a company in his condition, and he's putting a lot of people's jobs at risk. There just has to be an easier way than hiring a man to play time, which causes an altercation in the middle of the street while the PI watches and takes pictures, then removes the man to make him look crazy. Or Death on the train talking about twins in the womb who are pondering what's on the outside and realizing that all they have is their umbilical cord. Will can do my reaction again.
No. Wow, that's deep.
The real magic is the PI who always happens to be in the right place at the right time. While the movie may not work at all, Will Smith is still good in it. The genuine laughs that it has do come from him. It's funny when he brushes off their self-help talk, even though the movie itself feels like some pyramid scheme self-help jargon that would cost you thousands to hear. Let's take another break. He'll walk the rest of the way, and I'm sure the PI will record him taking a piss.
It's only me. Give a genuine gift from Belle. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
We're back, people.
Hi, Howard.
I know, man. I know. While Will is still giving it his all, I wish his tragedy was more impactful. Maybe it would be if we saw way more of his daughter beforehand, other than this quick shot of him swinging her in the park. Forget that, we need more scenes about the deal with the other company and conference calls and committee votes. Or that they have fantastic editing that did a bang-up job taking the other people out of the footage. It's okay, we'll put tears in their eyes. That'll take away from the fact that this is borderline sociopathic. We're not showing this to him in private and kindly asking him to step away temporarily. No, we're putting this on our sweet future TVs for the whole board to see. I guess it works though. Instantly he apologizes and tells them how great each and every one of them are, and how he'll take care of Simon and his family. They're all so close.
With best friend I've ever had.
Well, that's just sad. Sure, he's questioning his own sanity, but the paperwork is done and the deal is made. Merry Christmas, everyone! Ain't this a look that says simply having a wonderful Christmas time? I know I'm always in the mood for caroling when watching the second part of a double feature with Adam Sandler's Reign Over Me. Or the touching scene when we finally get to see Simon's wife, who finds out his condition.
Okay.
Ugh, death spiked the eggnog again. Is it just me, or is Simon having the worst Christmas of everyone here? Whit's fine. He likes looking at old pictures. That means he'll start being a better dad. He'll even pick her up from school. Time tells Claire that she'll be a good mom. That means she'll probably adopt. Howard is trying to move forward too and get his shit together. This man is freaking dying. That's way more serious than the fact that her play got canceled.
Oh, no, the play's dead after all this. But you never know. Nothing's ever really dead if you look at it right.
Okay, I'm still dying though. This movie is pseudo-intellectual batshit fuckery. Oh, can I talk about this now? When he goes over to Madeline's on Christmas Eve, where the twist is revealed that this wasn't their first time meeting. In fact, they're estranged husband and wife. The daughter they both lost is the same kid, their kid, where they figured that the only way to grieve and, I guess, repair their marriage was to pretend like they're strangers and start from scratch. It's like The Sixth Sense, if it turned out that logic was dead all along. They stuck with their little game too, like when she was still in character as she was comforting someone else at the support group. When she said that she was glad that he came and he introduced himself, she did have a look of like, oh, we're still doing this? It is telegraphed a little, like when she showed him the card that said, if only we could be strangers again. This isn't a movie about loss. It's an advertisement for role-playing and method acting. That's not even the only twist. Yep, the actors they hired to play Love, Death, and Time really were Love, Death, and Time, like Death comforting her in the hospital.
Just make sure you notice the collateral beauty.
I don't know who you are, but I hate you. And what's the message here? Sure, the angels will step in to help, but it's gonna cost you. You gotta have at least $60,000 to get help from the cosmos. And even then, some look a little iffy about it. What would have happened if they didn't have 60 grand? Sorry, our help comes with a price. We are running a business here. I mean, I can't say it's not original, but it's just a lot of ick. With the ideas that it has, maybe it would have made a way better book than a movie so it could expand on it a lot more without feeling like I'm watching a cult initiation video. Bottom line, all of this could have been saved if at least one of them turned into a snowman. Winter's Tale was by far the more delightful of the two movies. This movie is more frustratingly bad than funny bad. Thanks for watching. You can follow us now on Facebook at facebook.com/TheRealCinemaSnob and on Blue Sky and Threads at The Cinema Snob. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got 60 grand. I'm gonna hire Time to make sure my food gets here quicker. It is McRib season.
Yeah, it turns out Death is an elderly white woman.